Hello and welcome back to another video on the Wrestle Debate, into another edition of NXT Out of 10. And yeah, of course, it's all going on because we've got the new set, the new layout, and all of the changes coming to NXT today. And not only that, Samoa Joe relinquished his championship, whether it was due to injury or not, I have my thoughts, but we've got the title match tonight, so let's get straight into it. NXT 2.0 kicked off with the title protagonists, Ciampa, Dunn, O'Reilly, and Knight. LA Knight was first out, and he was followed by Bron Breakker, who wants to prove himself by beating the former $1 million champion. So he's now agreeing to two matches in the same night, when one of probably the biggest night of his career. But oh well, Knight attacked Breakker and took him to the corner right off the bat before Bron came back with a bit lariat. Breakker went on to hit a series of suplexes before coming out with a huge powerbomb, and he beat LA Knight. I knew it was a 5 out of 10. This just so rushed, and then LA Knight was removed from the match. No sense. Before we got Imperium versus Josh Briggs and Brooks Jensen. Imperium had the early lead with Jensen and Eichner in the ring, but Brooks managed to come in and get back in control. However, Eichner was back and Jensen was tagged in when Brooks managed to hit a huge gutbuster. Brooks went for a tag, but Bartel dropped from the outside. Jensen went up to the top, but Eichner reversed his dive into a suplex to pick up the win. Hit Row and Swerve had a backstage promo backstage. Jesus, and Hype B-Fab's in-ring debut next. But yeah, as for the match, I'll give it a 6 out of 10, just a normal TV match. And then we did get B-Fab's match against Katrina Cortez, and as you might expect, it was a comfortable win for B-Fab, kicking things off with a leg sweep and then hit a big neck breaker to pick up the win. After the match, he got on the mic and called out Legado del Fantasma and Elektra Lopez. Lopez and Legado del Fantasma came out and fired at Hitwell, setting up a future match. Yeah, this was good. Just building towards that future match, and to be honest, I'm quite intrigued to see how it goes, to be honest. Damien Priest made his return to NXT, and he was with Austin Theory, and they were backstage on NXT 2.0 ahead of the wedding. Good to see Damien Priest back on NXT, I have to say. But yeah, Carmelo Hayes was out next on NXT and said he had a huge target on the back since winning the breakout tournament. He now says he has a bodyguard, Trick Williams. Drake Hudson was out for making his way to the ring when Hayes and Tricks and they attacked him in the ring, knocking him down before Carmelo took him out. Yeah, just about finding something Carmelo to do. Just in the meantime, that was a nice little storyline. Before we got Kacy Catanzaro and Kaden Carton versus Gigi Dolan and JC Jane. Carter and Dolan kicked off the match, and Catanzaro was tagged in early before Dolan lifted Kacy before tagging in Jane. Carter was in next and took JC out before tagging Catanzaro for a double team. Kacy then went up to the top and was about to hit a dive when Mandy Rose returned in a black hoodie and wiped out Catanzaro and Carter. Saray came in and joined the brawl, and as you might imagine, it led to a 6-women tag team match. Rose was more aggressive than usual and sent Kacy to her corner. They isolated Catanzaro in the ring before she managed to break free. Carter wiped out Rose in the ring and nearly pinned her. However, Saray came in and managed to get the better of Rose. Carter was back in the match and had the advantage on Rose. Mandy came in with a running knee to the head and picked up the win for her team. Yeah, I'm going to do 6 out of 10. Hopefully this is what's really going to start getting Mandy Rose going, because yeah, she's had a bit of an up and down roster. Obviously her debut match wasn't ideal, but yeah, this was good. Next up, it was Ridge Holland versus Drake Maverick, who I thought was on Raw, but it seems like he's doing carrying cross and pulling double duty. Ridge Holland basically squashed him, making short work of him. Drake was clubbed in the face. Maverick tried to hit back, only angering Holland, and Holland hit a huge vertical suplex to pick up the W. I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. Yeah, basically just a squash match, and that's what we give squash matches here. Before we learned from Radio Enrigo that O'Reilly was out for the main event after the attack, and Von Wagner would take his place. Well, it's a new star. Let's just see how it gets on. But yeah, it does seem like this NXT stuff is very messy, I'll say that. Before we got the Creed brothers versus Dan Jarman and Travis Skelly. Diamond Mines recruits Brutus and Julius Creed took on two local competitors, and they slammed them in, hitting a few suplexes, and Julius finished off his opponent shortly after and picked up a swift win. After the match 2.0 on NXT 2.0, Malcolm Bivens introduced the newest member of Diamond Mine, Ivy Needles. Kushida walked out and challenged Bivens to a match next week for the Cruiserweight title. Yeah, once again, just building up all the feuds and stables and everything like that. It was fine, 6 out of 10. Before it was NXT title time, Tommaso Ciampa versus Pete Dunne versus Von Wagner versus LA Knight, despite the fact he lost with Job early on. Dunne stomps on Wagner's shoulders early on and sent him out the ring before he tried for a shoulder stop, but Ciampa clubbed him in the chest. LA Knight came in and was quickly sent outside before Wagner came back to take Dunn's place. Ciampa hit some big lariats on Dunn and Knight before Wagner broke up a pin, and Dunn hit a better end on Ciampa, but Wagner took him out, and Dunn took a suplex from Knight before Wagner got an earful. Ciampa then managed to take out Knight for his second pinfall of the night to become NXT champion again. Ciampa and Goldie are reunited. I did not see this coming. Tommaso Ciampa, for all this time, is NXT champion. This is supposed to be a new era of NXT. I'm pleased for Ciampa, but yeah, for me, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. And as I said, yeah, it was kind of just a messy segment, messy match. I wasn't a fan of this, and I wasn't a fan of the eventual winner. I can't lie, so I'm going to have to give it a 5 out of 10. Before it was time for Index's wedding, and the ring was packed with superstars as Gargano walked Indy down to the ring. Gargano kept asking Indy if she was sure about it. Before Austin seemed to have lost rings on NXT, but they turned up with Ricky Mangiero. The couple said their very strange vows, and Indy revealed a bit too much about their relationship with Dexter. The priest questioned Dexter's method and was getting knocked out by the Green. Beth Phoenix snuck in and said she got ordered last night for this occasion. The day was saved, and Beth conducted the rest of the wedding ceremony before Loomis said, "I do," as everyone freaked out in joy. And the two were happily married. And before the show ended, Bron Breakker, and new champ Tommaso Ciampa had a little stare down and shook hands. Very, very eventful stuff. But as for the wedding, wedding actually went right in wrestling for once. That doesn't happen very often. And to be honest, I'm kind of pleased it went right, to be honest, because I'm intrigued to see where it goes now. Overall this week, NXT gets a 6 out of 10 from me. It's a weird show this week, NXT. There was lots of weird booking decisions, but of course it is going to take time with all of this changes going on, so I'll give it time before judging it too much. But as for the new set, I think it's a massive improvement, definitely on the CWC, so that's a positive at least. But anyway guys, that's it for the video. Thanks very much for watching. Remember to like, share, subscribe, let me know your thoughts, comments down below, follow me on Twitter, link in the description below for daily wrestling news, and subscribe to my channel on the screen right now, that'd be greatly appreciated. Thanks very much for watching. Peace!